Yes, so we are talking about the subsequent recognition of an asset. Now we know that in case of initial recognition of an asset, once an asset satisfies the asset recognition criteria, then we should recognize the asset at its cost. But in case of subsequent recognition, in case if there is change in the value of the asset, then IAS gives us two options, two measurement options to revalue the assets or change the carrying amount of the asset. One is cost model, another is revaluation model. We have already learned what is cost model. Now let's move on to revaluation model. So what does revaluation model says? Revaluation model says carry the asset at cost minus subsequent depreciation minus subsequent impairment. Fine, it is not cost, it is fair value. Carry the asset at fair value less subsequent depreciation less subsequent impairment loss. Fine. So now we know what is impairment. Okay, so let's take an example. And what is fair value? Fair value is market value of the asset, right? Let's say cost of the asset is $10,000, life is 10 years. Fine. Accumulated depreciation is $4,000, right? So this indicates that we have used asset for 4 years, assuming we are following SLM. So what is the carrying amount of asset? Carrying amount of asset is $6,000. Okay, now we have an information that fair value of the asset is $9,000, which is more than the carrying amount. Now if we follow revaluation model, then we have to bring asset to its fair value, right? So what we need to do, we need to do upward revaluation by $3,000. So how we can do upward revaluation? Let's learn. Just we need to know what would be the journal entries for the same. Entry number 1, bring the asset to its carrying amount. फाइन. सो आपकी बैलेंस शीट में असेट दिखेगा कॉस्ट पे $10,000 और डेप्रिसिएशन दिखेगा प्रोविजंस में इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अक्यूमुलेटेड डेप्रिसिएशन $4,000. नाउ वी नीड टू ब्रिंग द असेट टू इट्स कैरिंग अमाउंट. मतलब जो $10,000 है आपके फिक्स्ड असेट में, उसको हमको करना है $6,000. तो क्या करेंगे? सिंपल एंट्री पास करेंगे, अक्यूमुलेटेड डेप्रिसिएशन account debit $4,000 to fixed asset account $4,000. ठीक है, तो हम एसेट को $6,000 पे ले आए, एसेट को हम उसकी कैरिंग अमाउंट पे ले आए. नाउ अब एसेट उसकी कैरिंग अमाउंट पे आ चुका है, दैट इज $6,000. अब हमको करना है अपवर्ड रिवैल्यूएशन, दैट इज वी नीड टू ब्रिंग द एसेट टू $9,000. So entry number 2, upward devaluation. So entry for upward revaluation is fixed asset account debit to revaluation reserve under the heading other comprehensive income. Fine, what would be the amount? $3,000. We need to get the asset upward by $3,000. Fine, so this would be the entry for revaluation. I hope you know what is other comprehensive income, right? आपने पढ़ा होगा आपके knowledge level पे that all the unrealized gains, losses, incomes and expenses that are unrealized are to be transferred to other comprehensive income and not to P&L account, right? P&L account में केवल realized income, expenses, gains and losses आएंगे and other comprehensive income में unrealized incomes, gains, expenses and losses आएंगे. Fine. So example of unrealized would be this revaluation reserve, right? This is not a realized profit or we are not going to realize it ever. So this will be transferred to other comprehensive income and at the end of the year the balance of the reserves, the balance of the revaluation reserve in other comprehensive income would be transferred under the heading equity, right? So balance sheet में at the end of the year revaluation reserve कैसे दिखेगा? Equity, retained earnings, below this you will find revaluation reserve. Fine. So this is how revaluation reserve is disclosed in your balance sheet. Fine. So now what to do with this revaluation reserve? At the end of the year क्या होगा और हर साल क्या होगा? Fine. So now we know the carrying amount of our asset is $9,000. So depreciation from this year onwards would be 6 years से remaining useful life. Yes, 10 साल थी asset की useful life, 4 साल आपने उसको यूज किया, accumulated depreciation का फिगर देख के पता चलता है. So remaining life is 6 years, right? तो जो depreciation का न्यू फिगर है that would be $1,500 per year. Yes, और आपका जो ये जाएगा हर साल P&L में. Fine. So the entry would be depreciation account debit under the heading P&L to asset account 1,500. And what to do with the revaluation reserve? So every year the balance in the in revaluation reserve will transfer to retained earnings. So how it will transfer? Balance under revaluation reserve is 3,000 divided by useful life of asset is 6. So $500 would transfer every year to retained earnings. See, you need not divide it by 6. You need to transfer it in the proportion of depreciation. जिस proportion में depreciation P&L में जा रहा है उसी proportion में revaluation reserve retained earnings में जाएगा. Fine. So we can see the proportion 1,500 by 9,000. 1,500 by 9,000 is, let's calculate. So 1,500 by 9,000 is 0.16. Okay. So let's multiply 3,000 by 0.16. 3,000 multiply by 0.16, which comes to $500, right? So जिस proportion में आपका depreciation P&L में जाएगा, depreciation का proportion मतलब depreciation divide by carrying amount of the asset, ठीक है? सो उसी प्रपोर्शन में आपका रीवैल्यूएशन रिजर्व जाएगा रिटेन्ड अर्निंग्स में. सो व्हाट वुड बी द एंट्री? रीवैल्यूएशन रिजर्व account debit 500 to retained earnings 500. आपको क्वेरी होगी कि ये अमाउंट पीएनएल के थ्रू भी तो लेके जा सकते थे कि पहले आप पीएनएल में ले जाओ रीवैल्यूएशन रिजर्व अकाउंट डेबिट टू पीएनएल और उसके बाद हम रिटेन्ड अर्निंग में ऑटोमेटिक चला जाएगा ये प्रॉफिट के साथ. But IAS 16 prohibits the same. What IAS 16 says that you cannot route revaluation reserve through P&L. आपको इसको केवल retained earning के थ्रू ही लेके जाना है. ठीक है. IAS 16 ये कहता है कि ये जो है आपकी unrealized earning है और ये earnings P&L में दिखाने से आपका P&L ज़्यादा profit दिखाएगा. That is unrealized profit. Fine. So these types of earnings will not be routed through P&L and it should be directly transferred to retained earnings. Fine. So this was upward revaluation. Let's see downward revaluation. Cost is $10,000. Accumulated depreciation is again $4,000. So let's keep it same. Carrying amount $6,000 and fair value would be now $4,000, right? So there is downward revaluation बाय $2,000. एसेट की वैल्यू आपको कम करनी पड़ेगी. फाइन. तो इसके लिए हम क्या करेंगे? सो द फर्स्ट एंट्री विल रिमेन सेम. accumulated depreciation to fixed asset amount will also remain same because accumulated depreciation here also is $4,000. Entry number 2. Here what you will do is, in case of downward revaluation, what IAS 16 says is just transfer the amount of downward revaluation directly to P&L. So P&L account debit $2,000 to asset. So this is what we need to do in case of downward revaluation. Upward revaluation, you need to create a reserve called revaluation reserve under other you need to show it first under other comprehensive income. Then at the end of the year, the balance under the other comprehensive will transfer under the heading equity, right? As it is shown here. Fine. So we are done with upward and downward revaluation, right? Let's go on to the theory part. Revaluation model. Carry the asset at revalued amount being its fair value at the date of revaluation less any subsequent accumulated depreciation and subsequent accumulated impairment loss. Fine. The revised IAS 16 makes clear that revaluation model is available only if fair value of the item can be measured reliably. Yes, IAS 16 कहता है कि अगर आपके पास जो प्रोडक्ट है उसकी फेयर वैल्यू है, मार्केट वैल्यू है, दैट इज टू बी टेकन आउट बाय द वैल्यूअर्स, अगर वो वैल्यू है आपके पास तो ही आप फेयर वैल्यू मॉडल, रिवैल्यूएशन मॉडल यूज कर सकते हैं. फाइन. सो किस केस में आपके पास मार्केट वैल्यू नहीं होगी? सपोज मैंने एक एसेट बनवाया है जो स्पेसिफिकली मेरी इंडस्ट्री में ही काम आएगा. इट इज कस्टमाइज्ड एज पर माई रिक्वायरमेंट्स. ठीक है. तो अगेन एसेट की वैल्यू है $10,000, 3 साल यूज किया आपने उसको और एसेट की वैल्यू हो गई अब $7,000. अब नाउ यू नीड टू चेक, इफ एज यू आर फॉलोइंग रिवैल्यूएशन मॉडल, यू नीड टू चेक what is the fair value of the asset. Now as the asset is customized as per your requirement, what you will do, you will find out the market value, but there will be no market for the asset as the asset was customized as per your requirement. आपके लिए specifically बनाया गया था, उस asset का कोई market नहीं है, ठीक है. So what IAS 16 suggests is, if you don't have market value of the asset, or if the asset doesn't has any market, yes, so how you can revalue the same is use the replacement cost, right? So it is written here, where market value is not available, however depreciated replacement cost should be used. Now what is depreciated replacement cost? Depreciated replacement cost is, आपने एसेट को 3 साल यूज़ किया है, उसकी वैल्यू हो गई $7,000. अब आप ये पता करोगे कि अगर मुझे इसी तरीके का नया एसेट आज बनवाना है तो उसकी क्या वैल्यू होगी. सपोज उस एसेट की वैल्यू आई $12,000, ठीक है, एंड यूजफुल लाइफ इज 10 years. सो डेप्रिसिएशन पर ईयर वुड बी $1,200 into 3 is $3,600. You will subtract this $3,600 from $12,000 and the value would be $8,400. Fine. So this is called, you are finding the replacement cost, कि अगर मुझे नया एसेट खरीदना है इसी तरीके का तो आज उसका प्राइस क्या होगा, दैट इज $12,000, एंड उसको डेप्रिशिएट करोगे 3 साल के लिए, ठीक है. आपका भी एसेट 3 साल पुराना है, अगर आप आज नया एसेट खरीदते हो और उसको 3 साल डेप्रिशिएट करते हो तो उसका कितना वैल्यू होता 3 साल डेप्रिशिएट करने पे. सो दैट वुड बी द फेयर वैल्यू. लेट्स सी एन एग्जांपल ऑन दिस. So it's simple. $10,000 minus $3,000 accumulated depreciation. $7,000 is the carrying amount. Fine. Now you don't have market value. So what you will do? You will find replacement cost. Standard says use depreciated replacement cost. Fine. So replacement cost is suppose $12,000. Depreciated use, but you cannot use replacement cost. You need to use depreciated replacement cost. So you will depreciate it for 3 years. That comes to $3,600. That is 1200 into 3. Yes. So value of the asset would be $8,400. Now this is carrying amount and this is fair value of the asset, and you can do upward revaluation by $1,400. So if you don't have market value, use the depreciated replacement cost. Is that clear? Yes. Fine. Let's move forward. So most importantly, when an item of property, plant and equipment is revalued, the whole class of the assets to which it belongs should be revalued. ठीक है, क्या लिखा है? When an item is revalued, whole class of assets should be revalued. मतलब if you have a commercial vehicle, you have a truck and you have three trucks. So what IAS 16 says is, if you are using revaluation model for one truck, then you need to use revaluation model for all the 3 trucks, same class of asset, right? You cannot use cost model for one and revaluation model for other, right? So if you are using revaluation model for one asset, one class of asset, that is commercial vehicles, then you must use revaluation model for each and every such asset, right? Each and every such asset under the same class. Now suppose you can use revaluation model for your commercial vehicles, right? And you want to use cost model for your computer and equipments. So that is permitted because computer equipments and vehicles are different class of assets. In case of same class of assets, use same cost model. In case of different class of assets, you are allowed to use revaluation model for one and cost model for other. Is it clear? Let's see an example on this. Venus Limited is a large manufacturing group. It owns a considerable number of industrial buildings such as factories and warehouses and office buildings in several capital cities. Fine. Industrial buildings, factories and warehouses and office building. Now the industrial building are located in industrial zones, whereas the office buildings are in central business districts. Venus Limited management wants to apply a revaluation model to subsequent measurement of office buildings, but continue to apply the historical cost to the industrial building. Fine, it wants to apply historical cost to industrial building. So is this acceptable under IAS 16? So solution is, Venus Limited's management can apply revaluation model only to office buildings. The office buildings can be clearly distinguished from the industrial buildings. So it is saying that office buildings are different class of assets and industrial buildings are different class of assets. So two different valuation models can be used for them. Yes, from industrial buildings in terms of their different कैसे है, class of assets different कैसे है वो बता रहा है, in terms of their function, their nature and their general location. IAS 16 permits assets to be valued on class by class basis. The different characteristics of the buildings enable them to be classified as different PPE classes. The different measurement models can therefore be applied to these classes for subsequent measurement, as I have explained. All the properties within the class of buildings must therefore be carried at revalued amount. Fine. बट IAS 16 ये कहता है कि आपको एक सेपरेट डिस्क्लोजर करना है कि फॉर विच क्लास विच मॉडल यू आर यूजिंग. फाइन. डिस्क्लोजर इन नोट्स टू फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स. फाइन. नोट्स में आपको दिखाना है कि आप कौन से एसेट के लिए, कौन से क्लास ऑफ एसेट्स के लिए, कॉमर्शियल व्हीकल के लिए, बिल्डिंग के लिए, लैंड के लिए, किसके लिए कौन सा मॉडल यूज कर रहे हो, ये आपको बताना है. फाइन.